Check if we're on. Alright. Check, 1, 2, 3. Alright. What's up, guys? It's your boy Brian, and today I'm doing a very different video. And, first of all, hello, how are you all? I just wanted to give you an update on my channel, and we're ready to get right into today's topic. So, by the way, hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone had a very Merry Christmas, and hopefully have a Happy New Year. Usually I would do wrestling reviews, predictions, but for this scenario, I'm not doing that. I'm actually going to be talking about movies, and I'm going to talk about my history on movies, what I think about movies, and how I feel about what movies we have now compared to back in the day, and how I feel movies have changed. So, we'll get into all that in a sec, but I just want to give you an update. I actually am going to start doing a lot more movie reviews. I'm getting inspiration from my friend Tyler, aka Mind of Nerds. Go follow him. He's a movie head at its finest. He's got a great group of friends that I haven't talked to, but I've seen them. They're great content creators. So definitely go talk to them. But we're gonna give a raw and uncut review of some of the movies that I have on my top 10 list and my top 5 worst films of the year. And I'll try to be consistent and do it as much as possible. And I'll tell you why these are the worst list. Sorry, that's my list from Twitter. I'll just pull up on my phone for reference, just to have it. Alright, we're gonna start with the good. Alright, so first of all, my reaction to movies. Movies back in the day, I didn't go to the theater much back in the day. The only few films I'll go for since I was a kid is kids' movies, because I was a kid, of course. You know, I would go to, like, Cars and Disney films and DreamWorks with Shrek and everything. I've been to movies to see those kind of films, because those are great kids' films. Those are great childhood. Those are great films. But these days, I'm actually going to the movies way more frequent than I've ever done before. Now, not this year, because this year COVID has affected that. And not even last year. 2019, though, I saw way more movies with friends. I would either go with Jacob, Manny, or Kevin, or any other people. I go see some bangers. I go see movies. I go do this. I even went to the 10th anniversary Marvel showing of them showing all the Marvel movies that were great on a 2-day stand, which I went to the second day, that had Endgame, Black Panther. What else did it have? It had Thor Ragnarok, and it had something else. So I went to that event with both Tyler and Kevin, and it was a great time. Seeing those movies in IMAX was absolutely brilliant. And watching them again made me tell myself, oh yeah, they're top movie of the year. And they were top movie on my list that I never released because, you know, I kept this to myself. But I'm going to be more public. I'm going to be more open with you guys on how I feel about, you know, these movies this year, which we had a great amount of movies compared to last year. Last year was really tough for me to pick movies because there was a lot of home movies. There wasn't a lot of go to the theater films until the end of the year. But this year, we got a whole ton of movies that I was able to go out and see in theaters. And a lot of them were final chapters, and a lot of them were awesome nostalgia fanfare, which we will get to later on in this review. Now, with that being said, let's start off with the number 10, Halloween Kills. Now, I just want to go over my honorable mentions so you guys know before I get into Halloween Kills, and I'll tell you why Halloween Kills made the list other than my honorable mentions. So my honorable mentions are Book of Saw Spiral, Spiral. That's a great Saw movie, even though it's technically not inspired. It's inspired by Saw, but it's not really a Saw film. It might bring Jigsaw back into the series in a right way. Hope it does. Black Widow. I know Black Widow gets a lot of flack, and some people put it in their worst list. Not for me though. I think Black Widow's a little underrated. I do think it's overhyped a little bit. That's why I made my honorable mentions. But I was thoroughly surprised with Black Widow. Is Black Widow movie of the year? Absolutely not. But it definitely is a honorable mention at least. Lucia is a Disney film that I really enjoyed. You know, I watch my Disney films still. Yeah, I might be an older kid and it might not seem as much, but those Disney films are really fun. Like, which I'm going to talk about a great story film in this that's also made by Disney that I really enjoyed, and a great musical as well. But for me, definitely, yeah, no, but for me, for sure, I did my part. Like, I think Disney films are still really fun. There's some bad ones, don't get me wrong, Grisella. I didn't watch it, but, it's still really good. So, yeah, but that's my prediction with that, and hold that a whole ordeal with that. Then we have Jungle Cruise. Jungle Cruise, that was a Disney Plus exclusive film that had The Rock and I think it was Emily Blunt. I think it was. They actually had a really good combo. I just really got affected because it wasn't in theaters. It was on Disney Plus. I feel like if it went in theaters, it might be a little better. And also, there were some parts that did slow down a little bit. So, but overall, Emily Blunt and Rock's duo was really well done, I think. I think it was really well done, and it's a super underrated film that people are not really talking about. I feel like talk about a little bit more. And finally, an Amazon Prime movie, actually. Yeah, Amazon Prime had some decent films this year. Tomorrow War with Chris Pratt. Yeah, that's a film that I did not expect to make the list. That's probably my most surprising film. That's like an online, like if I was doing like my own like subscriber only movies, Tomorrow War would have made that list, and I know why it's on that list because it's actually very good. You'd be surprised. It's just like a really futuristic war style, and Chris Pratt is an awesome actor. And for a lower budget studio, they killed it. So, is it like movie of the year type shit? Like I said before, no, but it definitely needs to be earned an honorable mention. And those are my honorable mentions. Any other films I forget that I should have been on this list, I've either not watched them or I just can't quite remember them. But those are the honorable mentions that I can remember off the top of my head. But I don't think I missed anything. So that's my honorable mentions. Now, let's get to the list. With number 10, Halloween Kills. Halloween Kills has a soft spot for me. Now, I know a lot of people are like, oh, Halloween Kills was not that great. To me, it was way better than I would say Halloween 2018. It's not that Halloween 2018 was necessarily bad. I don't think it was like the worst Halloween film in the series. I think H2O was the worst, I think. Either Resurrection or H2O. But I'm going to give it to H2O. H2O I didn't really like. I'm going to be honest. So, H2O is not for me. But, what I can say with full confidence, Halloween Kills is much better than 2018. Halloween Kills basically comes right after the events of Halloween 2018 with the battle with the woman, I can't think of her name, but the old lady that was feuding, that comes right after those events. She's in the hospital recovering, while her other childs try to go out for Michael, or try to look for Michael, as the crowds try to team up to kill Michael because they want Michael killed. They tried to kill him off, but Michael no-sold all of the attacks, killed the older dude, and now that's said and done. And we're probably going to get another film at some point to do the battle again. I'm a little worried for the third film because I feel like you shouldn't touch it after this one. But I just have a feeling they are going to go because they want to make money, and you know how Hollywood is. I just hope that one is at least decent. It might not be better than Halloween Kills, but there's definitely been one of the better, like, scary movie reboots in a while. Because there's been a lot of bad reboots for scary movies. This one was actually pretty decent. I wasn't mad at this one, so that's why it makes my number 10 list. Number 9. I have Nobody. Nobody is basically an old kind of a slightly John Wick ripoff, but in like a different universe. It's basically if you were to take John Wick, obviously make him a little older, but you're not copying John Wick. It's completely different. It's not your normal film because you have this normal guy. It's basically if you take John Wick, but you take out all the badass shit about John Wick and you make him a normal person. Because at the end, Keanu Reeves is a normal person. You know? He's not just a superhero every time. He's a normal person. So, that's what I think we got there. It's basically a John Wick film, and you take out all... Like, you still get the action stuff. You get all the action scenes and everything. but you take that out and make him a normal person and show that normal side, that normality of like a person. Like he's just a normal person, basically kicking ass. And dude is a really good actor. I can't think of the actor's top of my head. I'll look it up in a little bit, but he's really good. He's funny. He's comedic. He's super agile for his age, and he is a total badass. So, and Nobody had a really cool story about basically trying to save his family and everything. It was really cool. So, Nobody makes my number 9. Number 8. Very interesting one that I didn't expect to make the list, but it did make it. Free Guy. Yeah, Free Guy makes the list. Free Guy is Ryan Reynolds' good film this year, because Ryan Reynolds has not been in many films this year. He was a Red Notice. Red Notice did not make my list. Is it the worst film? No. It's more of a middle ground, because I liked how Wonder Woman's performance, aka Gail Gadot, was really good. But I feel like it was affected around the plot pieces and this whole Cleopatra egg with the WWE promotion. It kind of dumbed it down for me. That's why it's like I have a soft spot for it slightly because Ryan Reynolds and Gail Gadot's performances were really funny. Same with The Rock, of course. But also the whole film itself just didn't make any sense and it was kind of weird. So, but for this, I'm gonna put Ryan Reynolds' movie right here. This is Ryan Reynolds' best film of the year. Something about Free Guys is really different. It's like if you were to take a everyday life, like a normal guy, just a nerdy dude. You put him into a video game with this other girl that's also stuck in a video game, and Ryan Reynolds tries to get back to reality. No pun intended. Eminem. Get back to reality and get back to his normal life. But the video game, if it shuts down or glitches, the whole game breaks, and then Ryan Reynolds is basically stuck, or basically gets deleted. So he has to find a way to basically fix the game, get back into reality with a friend, but still have that funniness to it. Because like he was kind of hitting on the chick in the beginning, which was really funny. But then when they finally got to know, say like, hey, we're just friends, we're not hitting on each other. That's how it went. And I thought it was a really fun film, really underrated film. It still gets talked about today, which I'm very happy about because I feel like Ryan Reynolds doesn't get much love. Because when I saw this movie coming out, I was like, this has a lot of potential. But I don't know if they're going to be able to do it right because video games and stuff usually doesn't work. But this one worked, and I'm happy they were able to get a guy like Ryan Reynolds who's like one of the funniest dudes in the world. That's why he's my Deadpool forever. And he's just great. So definitely for my number 8 spot, Free Guys gets that spot. Number 7. Now, this is what I'm talking about. The list is going to get a pretty out of whack, but I'll tell you why. We're going to start off with the kids' film. I think it's Enchanto. I think that's how you say it. Enchanto is a kind of a Mexican style, Day of the Dead style, but very Mexican style film. It has music, it has dance, it has great acting, and it's really good. This was a really good Disney film. This film took my heart. There's a really good song in here that my friend Tyler posted that I absolutely adore. I can't remember the song. It's very popular now. But that song is so fun to listen to. It's very cute, but it's fun. Very festive, very colorful. And it's not like them saying like, "Oh yeah, we're idiots." No, this movie's actually very smart. Like it does some really smart things that, kids films should be doing. Should be smarter so the kids can get into it, And I think I understand why people, would watch this, and say Moa, which is another great film with The Rock, and also what's another great film like this, like Lusa, like I said, which made my honorable mentions. So, but this one, just something about it, just had a great heartwarming story, and it was just really fun to watch. So that will get my number 8 spot. Number 7. Oh, I'm so happy. Alright, so wait. 10, 9, 8, 7. Oh, this is number 6. Number 6. Shang-Chi! Legend of the Ten Rings. I think it's Shang-Chi, actually. Anyway, this movie here is a Marvel blockbuster, and is one of my first movies that was a Mandarin-style movie bought into American Light. And I think they absolutely nailed it. And I'm looking forward to see what is next for Shang-Chi. If you watch the post-credit scene, which I don't know if you haven't watched Shang-Chi, it's on Disney Plus. Go watch it. So I'm gonna spoil the post-credit. There's a post-credit with Wong and Doctor Strange. Shang-Chi gets called in by Wong. Shang-Chi goes with Doctor Strange and Wong to help out in some capacity, which could mean it could be leading to the Doctor Strange multiverse film, which was also revealed this a couple weeks ago after the whole post credit in the new Spider-Man, which I will also talk about later on in this topic. So it's basically a son of a father of a guy that is a legend, a guy that holds 10 rings. If you get these 10 rings, you're powerful. You basically have all the power in the world, and you're able to basically destroy anything. And those rings can be used in battle. Now, the father lost his wife, unfortunately, due to a payment being made by these bad guys. And his father went on a tear. Hold all 10 rings, and the thing about it was Shang-Chi was in America with Awkwafina, which is his friend, of course. Which I think she played an excellent Awkwafina. She was really funny, awesome, and we even got one of my favorite scenes, the bus scene with the dude. Such an awesome scene, just badass, kick-ass, like, just awesome, like, absolutely fantastic work. But, like, the choreography in this game, oh, not game, in this film, is so good. It's literally very close to being some of the best fight choreography in, like, a Japanese Mandarin film in a long time. Like, it is that damn good. Like, if you want to see some choreography masterpiece, go watch that. Go watch that, 'cause that's how it's done. That is how it's done. Like, that is how you do it. It was so good, so much fun, and, you know, the way basically the father sacrificed himself so his son could get all the powers and to take the victory back, and it's a masterpiece. And the actor, I can't think of his name, I think it's something Sim something, but he was in the nomination for a male award. I think he deserves at least one award at the Oscars because his movie was very good, and I'm looking forward to seeing him because I think he's a perfect Shang-Chi. One thing I am a little disappointed about Shang-Chi, they couldn't introduce a monkey. Maybe they do try to introduce a monkey, because if you look at Shang-Chi in the comic books, there is a monkey. But there's no monkey in this one. So I don't know if they're going to try to introduce a monkey, maybe, or they're going to try to leave off and say, let's do our own Shang-Chi, no monkey. So if they do no monkey, it's okay, because Shang-Chi is still already a great actor and a great performance already. So no need for a monkey, but if you want to, go ahead. And that is why Shang-Chi made my number 6 list. Number 5. Suicide Squad. Oh, yes. Or I should say, the Suicide Squad. Now, me and Suicide Squad have had a very hit-or-miss relationship. For instance, Jared Leto was one of the worst Jokers. He didn't get justice. And that Suicide Squad was pretty messy. Not a personal fan. But when I heard a new Suicide Squad was being in development, I was like, this has potential to maybe fix my love and affection for Suicide Squad. And this film definitely did. First of all, it's rated R. It was funny as hell. It was action-packed. And it was damn near fun. Now, my friend Manny, shout out to him, would probably disagree with this list. Well, not this list, but he'll probably disagree with this Suicide Squad. Just because Suicide Squad, there were definitely some people that got done over. Like, Captain Boomerang at the beginning, that was sad, I'm not gonna lie. Polka Dot Man, I think, also got a little screwed over. But he makes it a big deal. I don't think it's that much of a big deal because I get it. You want to see Captain Boomerang, you want to see the main guys, I understand. But I feel like down the line, Manny's going to give it a chance again. And maybe his opinion change a little bit, maybe. But I don't know. Like, he absolutely despised Suicide Squad. When me, Smack, Frost, Ingy, we all enjoyed it. We watched it all together. And we fucking enjoyed it. It was so much fun. My friend even went to the theaters and enjoyed it. It's a great time. And if you put this in your top 3, maybe even 5, I wouldn't argue it because it could be that close, but there was just a few more films that just not quite there that I couldn't put over. But definitely Suicide Squad is my number 5. And shout out to both Peacemaker, which was John Cena, and Bloodshot, which was Idris Elba. Those two were awesome to watch. And I'm looking forward to the Peacemaker show on HBO Max. Just a fact. Number 4. We're on to the top 4. Judas and the Black Messiah. This is a different kind of movie. I usually don't talk about history and kind of documentation style movies if only done correctly. But this man absolutely killed this role of Judas. This man is awesome. I can't think of the guy's name. He's a really good actor. He's actually different language and everything. He's a great actor. This film was so good. Like the historical accuracies was really good. The ending was really sad, but now I understand why it happened, and the basically the whole premise, while true story, I feel like it was really accurate to what it would be if it happened either again or if it happened in the modern light. I think they did a really good job, and they picked the right actor, they picked the right director. They absolutely killed it. And I understand why it's in the which it won a couple awards at the Oscars, and I totally understand why. I absolutely understand why it was in contention for some of the Oscar awards, and it won one of them. So, and this has potential to probably win a possible another Oscar nomination, because they're probably going to have an extra Oscar that puts some 2021 stuff in there, because it was part of the 2020 list. So, yeah, that's how it knows the film is taking a huge impact. But it's still one of my favorite non-posted films that are not superhero films on HBO Max, other than Dunce, of course, which is also another honorable mention. Yeah, but literally, like, absolutely incredible stuff, and absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. We'll watch it again. It's a great film. Number 3, and this one's a sad one, but I thought they did this right. It's 007, No Time to Die. 007 film, the last film, didn't quite catch my attention. It didn't catch me. Was it a bad film? No. But was it my film? No. This film, though, completely different. Absolutely amazing film. And it was 007's last film, sending him into the night as he stops the role of 007. He's basically retiring 007. And, if no one's seen it, like, spoiler alert, because I'm going to spoil a little bit, he does die in the end for his beloved wife that he found. He finally found a home. He finally found a girl that's, not going to backstab him or anything, like a girl that trusts him. He's got a kid as well, and he was about to have a past life with her, but the bomb explosion, he died for us. But there's another key thing about it. There's a new 007. There's a black girl that's supposed to be taking over Mr. 007. But James doesn't quite want to let it go yet. He gets back into the agency, and those two team up, and they make a fantastic team. The last scene with the team, and, seeing the enemy, which, by the way, the enemy was the dude from Stranger Things. I forgot his name. He's got a very long name, very different name. But he was a awesome villain. He was so good. He did his job. The mask I thought he had was fantastic. The eyelids he had was really good. And it just looks so good. Like, listen, I was worried about this 007 film, because when I heard it was going to be a smaller production, well, it was going to be a big production, of course, but I was worried it wasn't going to hit the same, because this was going to be 007's last film. This is Daniel Craig's last role as 007, because he basically died. Like, you can't bring him back. He died. He died for us. He died to save the world. So, you gotta get it right. And did they get it right? Abso-fucking-lutely. They absolutely got it right. Like, it was so good. And I thought the girl, the other girl, that was kind of a, I won't call it backup, but more of a fake out. Kind of looked like a sexy girl that was basically drinking. And she was a rookie. She did a great job. She looked like a fucking badass. This whole film was so good. This whole film was a great story to end the 007 name. I hope they don't ever bring it back. I hope this is the last movie iteration and they don't bring it back, because this was a great way to end it. Sad ending, yes, but it was a great way to do it, to send Daniel Craig out into another film. Now, if he does a 007 role in a different capacity, but they don't call him 007, but it's a different film, hey, good for him, because Daniel Craig is still a lot younger. Yeah, he's a bit older, but he's still very young. Like, he did Knives Out. Knives Out is amazing. And they're probably going to get Daniel Craig to do Knives Out 2, which I will be watching Knives Out 2. I think Knives Out 2 is going to be amazing. That's near there, though. So, yeah. So, that's what that is said. So, but No Time to Die is my third favorite film this year. Number 2. Now, like I said before, these two films are interchangeable, because one of them is an amazing fanfare film done right and is done to perfection. Wouldn't change a single thing. And then there's another film that was reshooted. It was a 4-hour recut, like a director's cut, but it was still a gorgeous and beautiful film. Absolute banger. But for number 2, I'll put Spider-Man, which means that Zack Snyder's Justice League is number 1, and I will be explaining that in just a bit. Oh, Spider-Man, I still think about you sometimes, especially now. Spider-Man Far From Home, if you're not seeing it, you're absolutely bugging. Go see it. It's a Spider-Man fanfare movie with a modern twist and storylines that make sense from other films. Basically a setup for Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness in the right way. You're not only, which if you've not seen the film, not only are you getting Andrew and Toby and Tom teaming in a universal way, but Tom Holland saved the world. He was able to heal Electro, heal Lizard, heal Sandman, heal Green Goblin, and heal Dr. Octopus. Doc Ock. Those dudes. And also, they got all the original actors for each role, and I was so happy about that. Jamie Foxx for Electro. Lizard, same actor. Green Goblin, same actor, same voice. Sounded amazing. And Dr. Octopus, same voice, just like the films. And they looked just like the old school in a modern twist. A little bit older, but still looked like the youngin'. Especially Green Goblin. Oh, Green Goblin was my favorite villain in this film. The actor is so damn good. He didn't even need his mask to be the Green Goblin, and he still looked menacing to society. Like, holy shit, son. Like, my god, this shit was fucking awesome. Like, I wouldn't change anything. I wouldn't change a thing. I would not change a single thing about Spider-Man Far From Home. I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I would not change a single thing. I would keep it the same way. Now, I know a lot of people don't really like MJ's Zendaya. But she's grown on me. First time when I heard Mr. Tom was interested in her, I was like, I don't know if I want to really call that my MJ. But I understand why. Then Far From Home, things really took a turn. And that's where I'm like, okay, now we're starting to get her. And now, seeing Andrew save her and tear up was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Seeing the 3 Spider-Man, which I have as my profile picture, I can't show you, but I have as my profile picture, it's glorious. And I still think about it to this day. And I'm going to think about that movie for a very long time. Even if there's a Marvel film coming out, like, let's say Doctor Strange. I'm still going to think about Spider-Man and think about how it relates to Doctor Strange. Seriously. Seriously. Which, by the way, I saw the trailer early. There's another post-credit scene in the movie, if you guys want to see. There's another post-credit scene in the film. That's a second post-credit scene. That film That's the trailer. Because then they released the trailer a couple days ago. So, key little thing. Just stay for the Spider-Man film if you want to watch the trailer, or you can just watch the trailer normally. Got it? Anyway. So, yeah, we watched that. It was great. It's absolutely awesome. The Venom post-credit scene, I kind of understand what they did, but I still am a little confused because basically, you know how like Tom Holland disappeared and restarted his life and he got a new suit at the end, which by the way, that suit is fire. My favorite suit of the year, no cap. They did that, and it just didn't quite hit, you know? So, I don't understand the whole Venom thing. I hope it's explained in the future, but I really don't know how to explain the whole Venom thing, okay? So I'm not going to talk about that much. And I believe that's all I have to say. Yep, that's all I have to say, but you can see I have a lot to talk about. Now, my number one favorite film of the year. And I'm even surprised this didn't come out in theaters. And it should have. It should come out with a theater release. Zack Snyder Cut's Justice League. This was a 4-hour film that I still talk about these days. Steppenwolf, he looked amazing. Granny Goodness looked awesome. The villains looked all great. The heroes, the stories were done right. Batman as Ben Affleck was finally done justice. He built, no pun intended, a team. A super team that will defeat the enemies and save the world. And that's what we got. We got Batman trying to recruit Aquaman. First time? No Aquaman. He recruits Wonder Woman. He recruits Cyborg. He recruits Flash. And then we got Aquaman. All of the actors did their roles. They finally did Flash right. And now he's got a Flashpoint movie coming out. Cyborg was finally done right with his father. I thought that was awesome. He was one of my favorites. Jason Momoa, always great. And of course, Wonder Woman, of course. And also, we finally got a better version in a nightmare scene at the end of the film of Jared Leto's Joker. Yes, it was a nightmare scene, but it was fucking cool. He looked menacing. And it shows if Jared Leto does want to come back as Joker, as that same Joker, he can fucking do it. Now, obviously, Jared Leto is a busy man. He has Morbius coming out in January. I'm a little worried because it is a January film, but it's a Marvel production, so I don't know how it's going to go. But that one might have to wait until it comes to Disney+. But I don't know. So, give or take. So that happens. What else? Oh, the action scenes. Dude, the camera work in this goddamn film was so good. Was so good. The action films in that Snyder Cut was absolutely perfect. I wouldn't have changed a single thing about this film. Yes, it's a 4-hour watch, and I understand people can't do 4-hour watches. But I'm a goddamn superhero villain fan at heart. I watch any Marvel film that's 4 hours. Any DC film that's 4 hours. Any films that's 2 hours to 1 hour. I will watch all of it. Unless it's someone that I don't think should deserve a movie. Other than that, I watch whatever. And I'm so glad this man Zack Snyder did the Justice League right. I'm glad DC gave him the vision. Because this man's vision is absolutely fucking phenomenal. Phenomenal. And that is why the Snyder Cut is my favorite film of the year. Okay, take a little breather. Hope you guys are still here, enjoying. On to the worst films of the year, in my opinion. My top 5 worst films. I think someone get a little angry. So just bear in mind. And remember, these are just my reactions to certain films. Hey, maybe you like one of these films. No pun intended. Let's get to it. Number 5, Tom and Jerry. HBO, you've been one of my favorite um, live service, other than Disney Plus, that has really stepped up their game, bringing in movies and new TV shows. But Tom and Jerry, man, why did you do my mans like that? Why did you do my favorite cartoon like this? Well, one of my favorite cartoons like this. I hate when Hollywood says, let's bring a cartoon movie to the real world. Because you know it's never going to work. Now, video games, that's an exception. You know, they did Sonic amazing. And Sonic's getting a second film that looks fantastic. So, just saying. My point is, they just can't get it right. Tom and Jerry should be in an animated film with animations. That's what they are. They're animated characters. They're not going to look good in the real world. And they had my boy Carlos Pena, which Carlos Pena is a great actor, but he has been in some really bad films as he's gotten older. And they have that really good actor, that really nice actor, the blonde girl. Can't think of her name. She's really good, but in this film, no, absolutely not. When I saw the trailer of this, I was like, this is going to be the biggest piece of shit of all time. But my childhood said, you know what, I'm going to give it a chance. But I watched it, and I said before, with the worst films, I watched them twice. So I watched this one again, and I regret every fucking minute. It was a snooze fest. It was garbage. It was terrible. It was fucking directed horrible. Like the cutouts looked terrible when they were around the world. Like it didn't look natural. Like that is not how you do a cartoon film for Tom and Jerry. And I hope they never do another one. Unless they're gonna do a full-on animation. Get animators and do it. But the live action shit? No. No. Hollywood needs to learn that live action for some films don't work. They have to remember that. If they don't remember that, they're not going to learn. And they're going to continue to get bombshell shit like this. Because this was really bad. Tom and Jerry on HBO Max is bad. Like, it is bad. How is it not the worst film? I have no clue. But there are other films that are worse than this. And technically some are disappointing, but still. I'll explain why they're worse. Tom and Jerry, number 5. Number 4. Fast 9. Oh, Fast 9. When I first saw it in theaters with Manny, which, no disrespect to Manny, I thought it was a pretty fun film. But I go back home, I watch it on HBO Max again, and I hate it. I hate it. I don't know why I gave it high marks. I don't know why. I should have never gave it high marks. They're trying too hard. They did so many action scenes that just didn't make any sense. At least in the Fast and Furious films. Yet crazy and fictional, but they actually kind of make sense. But this one, no. When you're burying a series down to the ground too much, it just shows. They should have stopped after like Fast 7, when Brian Walker died. And when they got The Rock out of the contract. And it's so bad, which is not about the film. Vin Diesel even contacted The Rock on Instagram and said, we need you back. But it was a more business. It wasn't from the heart. If you're telling me you're going to get one of the hottest, if already been the hottest WWE/wrestler actor in The Rock, who's way better than John Cena, by the way. Oh yeah, John Cena was in the film, by the way. Which apparently he was Dom's brother, which makes absolutely no sense. That should have been The Rock. Well, that's neither there. Which The Rock has some awesome films coming out. He's got Black Adam. And he's got a couple other films I can't think about. But he's got some quite amazing films coming out. Like, you don't even know how many great films he has coming out. So, to say, oh, hey, Rock, we need you for Fast 10, which I think they're going to end it off on 10, which I think it's a nice number to end it off on. You better hope you bang out 10, because if 9 is bad, if 9 was bad, I have way much lower expectations going into 10 whenever it comes out. When they announce 10, I'm going to be like, my expectations are really low. Because whenever I head to a Fast and Furious film, I think I'm going to be getting something about family, something about how, the action is there. But I can't even get that. I can't even get that. And no disrespect to Mr. John Cena. I think this is John Cena's strongest year for acting. He showed his potential in... What's the film? A certain film. Oh, Suicide Squad. I was like, this dude has mass potential. Then he does... What does he do? There's another film he did this year that was decent. I don't remember, but he did another film, and then he did Fast 9. I'm like, seeing it in the Fast 9 franchise, just doesn't hit the same as, say, The Rock. So it just felt weird. But Cena's acting in that wasn't that bad. It was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. But I still think Peacemaker's still the best role Cena's had. Honestly. So, but Fast 9 is not it, Chief. It's overhyped. It's over the top. But in a really bad way. This film, especially. All the other films get passes. Because they're over the top, yes. But they're not overwhelming with camera angles or anything. You actually get a good story. And some of the characters are amazing as well. And they had to bring back my boy for this? My boy for Tokyo Drift? How do you bring him back and ruin this? I don't understand. Whatever. Next. This might be a controversial pick. Venom Let There Be Carnage. Now I know before people get on my back, why is Venom on this list? I didn't like the second film. The first film, I think, I didn't expect it to be a buddy cop thing, but it was. Did I hate it? No, I didn't. It was actually one of the ones that I actually liked. I thought it was fun. I thought it was funny. I thought it was, maybe not the most perfect movie in the world, but it was definitely not bad. Like, I would rather watch the first one than the second one. The second one they tried too hard. And also, I thought they were gonna have Venom and Eddie, still have a little bickering, but on the same page. But no, they were bickering still in a buddy cop thing when this is supposed to be about Venom fighting Carnage for the first time in films. Because we've seen it in comic book iterations. The comic book iterations on Venom and Carnage are excellent. But this movie just did not do Carnage justice. Now, does that mean Carnage can come back as a symbiote again? Yes. But all I'm saying is, while the Carnage and Venom fight itself was very cool, I do agree. The rest of the film, by the way, was only 90 minutes. Just keep that in mind, which is only an hour. That's pretty short for a Venom film. The last Venom film was like an hour 30, something like that. It was much longer. It was short. I felt like it was rushed. It didn't pace well. And I tried to go too goofy with it, do like a whole like scene where it's like really nightclub and colored. I feel like they shouldn't have done that. Like, not at all. Absolutely not. And I don't know. I couldn't get behind the whole the Venom Let There Be Carnage hype. I just couldn't. I tried to like this movie. I really did. Just like Jeremy Jans and other YouTubers have said. We tried to like this movie. But it just didn't hit. I'm sorry. It didn't. It didn't for me. So I'm sorry, Venom. You're still amazing. Like, the post-credit scene won it over for me. That's why it's not the worst movie of the year. Because the post-credit scene was excellent. So I'll give you that. But other than that, it's a bad movie. And I'm sorry because I feel like the Tom Hardy as Eddie Brock is fucking a perfect choice. But they're fucking him over. And I hope if he heads over to the MCU, they give him all the tools to do well. Because Venom deserves justice after this film. And we gotta stop with the whole let Sony do this whole like baby PG-13. You better make Venom rated R if he's coming to Marvel. Because Venom and rated R is freaking amazing on paper. Stop playing. Anyway, that's my number 3. Number 2, my final 2 movies of the worst category. We'll start off with you. Space Jam: A New Legacy, or Space Jam 2, people call it. Listen, as a basketball fan, this had a lot of potential, of course. It had LeBron, which, LeBron's no MJ, but LeBron could get it done. And LeBron's acting, while not great, can be really good. Did you see the movie with Will Ferrell? Great stuff. So I was like, alright, LeBron doing his own Space Jam? Makes sense. Might as well do something Jordan has done. While it did make a lot of money, and it sold out in box office, this movie's not great. I watched it the first time, I thought it was okay. But after watching it a second time, that's where I saw the flaws. First of all, the characters did not look good. They looked out of shape in like the shading, and it didn't look right. The Warner Brothers characters, like King Kong and those guys, those look fucking terrible. Those look like an SNL skit. That's how bad it looked. It looked pretty rough. It didn't look like the final copy. Which is unfortunate because it should be a final copy. You know? So, that's strike there. And this whole idea that it's not a basketball game anymore, it's a video game, also not very cool. Because back in the day, if you watch Space Jam was a basketball film. Some of the top Looney Tunes stars, even Lola Bunny was hot as hell at that point. Which, by the way, the actor that did Lola Bunny, you did pretty well. I can't even be mad. Did I like the thickness of Lola before? Yeah, I think so. It doesn't mean it's just being creative, it's just me observing. Yeah. But I ain't mad. Because Lola's actor was really good. But it just showed the whole gaming thing just no. And the kid that was LeBron's son, Dom, he's mid. He's okay. I haven't seen him in any great other films after this one, so this might have been his only film. But he's okay. I thought it was going to be a family-friendly, really fun style movie for the kids. And some kids enjoy it. Hey, good on them. But for the older adults that love Space Jam, no. It's not for us. And by the way, calling Space Jam a kids film is a huge mistake. Because there are some jokes in there in Space Jam that literally kids should not be hearing until they're really older. So just keep that in mind as well. So they kind of went the wrong marketing there. Not to say like you should let like a few like curse words out because it's kids, but like look at the old school, like, bro, they literally made Lola the hot chick, the hot bunny on the team. She even had like her ass like basically out, basically, and Buzz Bunny fell in love. That's not kid friendly. So for them trying to do kids, they should have just, first of all, they shouldn't have touched the franchise. First of all, they shouldn't have touched Space Jam, and they should have left it alone. And by the way, I looked at the Goon Squad. They did my boy AD dirty. They did Clay dirty. They did Dame dirty. They did Donna Taurasi dirty. They did all the players on the Goon Squad dirty. And by the way, what kind of name is the Goon Squad? Like, I understand the Mott Stars. There'll always be the team I remember in Space Jam. There are big dudes of Michael Jordan's teammates and a couple all-star players that were turned into monsters. It's a simple concept. We couldn't get maybe a mini Monstars 2.0 or maybe like a Monstar mixed with the Goon Squad or something like that. Like get a couple big men to be Monstar, then have the Goon Squad just to change it up. Did a whole new team that made no sense and it was boring as hell. Like, you named Klay Thompson Fire and Wet and Fire. Like, no, that's not. And that name sounds really sus. Like, Warner Brothers, you pissed me off with this one. Like, I feel bad for everyone. I had to endure it, and I didn't want to endure it. And that's why Space Jam's number 2, but you see, it's not number 1. Because the number 1 worst film is, drum roll please, Matrix Resurrection. Let's get to it. Now, I've been a Matrix fan for a pretty long time now. I watched the first film. I watched the sequels. I watched the second film. I watched all of them. And when I heard Matrix Resurrection was coming out, I was like, oh, this might be potential to bring in some new characters. He's bringing in most of his John Wick actors, bringing back a couple old people. Maybe we can get a bit of a classic style, but still not over the top, trying to do nostalgia. And maybe focus on some new characters, some new people. But they tried too hard. They tried to do what Spider-Man did. Spider-Man was a great fanfare film that bring all the guys into basically a call sandbox, and you let all 3 Spider-Mans fight each other out. That's what people wanted. And that's what we got. But for this one, nope. They tried to recreate the first scene in The Matrix, which will never look as good as the first one. Like, come on now. And they tried to get my boy Mr. Anderson, but they had the wrong actor. They had the dude from John Wick doing Mr. Anderson, which was not cool. Like, that's not how you do a Matrix film. If we're talking Mr. Anderson, you gotta get the original. Mr. Anderson. You gotta get the original. Like, sorry, my mic plugged out. If it's not authentic, we don't want it. Us Matrix fans wanted much more from this film. People waited 5 years for this goddamn film. They heard rumors of this film coming out. Right after John Wick. The rumors started popping up. John Wick's gonna do another, Keanu Reeves is gonna do another Matrix film. And now you just shitted it down the ground. Now the Matrix, like y'all tried. This is why I hate Hollywood. We're like, oh yeah, let's just bring back a nostalgia fest and try to do the original, but bring in not the same actors. Like, that's not how you treat your fans. That's not how you treat your fans. That's not how you do it. That's not. Like, no. That's not how you do it. And by the way, the second trailer basically gave up most of the film. So if you connect both trailers together, you don't even need to watch the film. That's how bad this is. Like, this was legitimately the worst film. Not only was it a snooze fest, I almost fell asleep watching this. It was tried to be the original, which you can never be the original. You can never copy the original. They tried to give nostalgia fest, which didn't work, first of all. And it's just like, it's not good. Matrix fans that are happy with this film, matter of fact, you're not even a Matrix fan if you're happy with this film. I'm not. I'm not happy with it. I'm actually frustrated. I expected way more from this film. Maybe something new, maybe something fresh to change up the Matrix series. Because the Matrix series, if they were going to reboot it, it needed a fresh coat of paint. But still leave those kind of character pieces, you know? But no, you try to go with a nostalgia fest, do the Mr. Anderson, and then do the Neo dude, the black dude, with the dude from fucking John Wick. Like, that's not how that works. Not to mention the fact that, you know, like, they brought back the two ones, like, they brought back the girl and Keanu. But it just shows, if you're not going to change up the Matrix franchise at all, then don't do another film. Leave it buried. Leave it alone. Don't touch it. But what do? You fucking touch it. Now, if this film came out, I don't know, 2015, 2016 maybe, then maybe I'll be happy about it. Because it at least got my interest back into the Matrix. But you did it at such a worse timing. Because we just had we just had a fanfare masterpiece that is Spider-Man, which is way more than just a fanfare. I'm just saying it just to be fair. And also, it's 5 years too late. Way too late. This movie's a disgrace to all Matrix fans and movie fans alike. And I understand why there's some people that don't like movies these days. I respect that. Because some of the films, they try to go back into the bag of tricks, the nostalgia fest, kind of like how WWE does. It just fails. It fails. Like, it's dumb. It's absolutely ludicrous why they do this to our films. And I'm so sick and tired of it. Listen, before I usually don't talk about this stuff. Usually I keep it to myself, but then I talk to friends that really react to movies almost every single day or every other week. But now I'm gonna start saying, if I see something that's really bad or just mid, or if it's like a remake that looks terrible, I'm gonna say something about it. Because I can't let this Matrix shit slide. Absolutely not. I think that's it. And that's why Matrix Resurrection is my #1 worst film of the year. My best film, Zack Snyder, Justice League. Worst film, Matrix Resurrection. This is kind of discussion. Anyway. Oh, it turned... Wait, oh no, sorry. I thought it turned off, my bad. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me for this stream. I hope you guys enjoyed me talking about my top 10 movies of the year and top 10 worst, top 5 movies of the year. Let me know if you guys want me to do more of this or review movies here. We could try to do non-spoiler, but sometimes I go into too detail, so I might do a spoiler review as well. So let me know if you guys want to. Thank you so much for watching. Happy holidays and have a happy new year. And I'll see you in 2022. Peace.